Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Isfahan Chambers Harris, and I am the creator of Alodia. So Alodia's story pretty much begins back with my personal experiences. Like millions of women around the world, I struggled with damage breaking hair and even a more damaged scalp from years of using chemical straighteners. So I decided to use my medical and science expertise as a PhD level scientist to create a full line of high quality products made with natural ingredients. Took me about 3 years to create the full line, and in March of 2017 is when we officially launched. During those 3 years of R&D, I talked with hundreds of women about the problems that they were having with their hair and scalp. And the trend that emerged was that 9 out of 10 of those women were plagued with chronic scalp conditions. And the only options for them was to visit a dermatologist, most of who are inadequately trained to address the concerns of textured hair. They spend hundreds of dollars in out-of-pocket fees, only to be prescribed medications that are harsh and toxic. On the flip side, they can walk into a big box retailer, pick up a bottle of anti-dandruff shampoo, but these shampoos are not formulated for textured hair types and often cause dryness and irritation to the scalp. So my customer base is desperate for an economical solution that's also natural and organic. And the trend that I saw is not isolated. Studies have shown 85 to 95% of textured hair types experience flaking, irritation, and stunted growth. So I realized that there was this huge gap in the marketplace to create products that not only help with hair care styling, but also help with scalp health. And this is exactly what Alodia brings to the market. Formulated by myself, a PhD level scientist and trichologist, as well as my co-founder and MD physician, we utilize our expertise to create products made with natural ingredients to relieve chronic scalp conditions. We will be the only certified textured hair care brand that's actually clinically proven to help with these chronic scalp conditions. And we're also the only ones in the market that are offering virtual scalp consultations as well as education to empower and inform our consumer base. So because we have tackled this huge gap in the market head on, within 4 short years, we have garnered thousands of happy customers. And in 2020, our revenues were about 560,000. We have about 22,000 customers, and we're projecting revenues of 1.2 million this year. So we have a wide array of digital marketing strategies that we employ to reach our various customers, and we have multiple touch points in which to establish community. And we've been able to garner a lot of traction through Essence features in Essence Magazine, Elle, blackdoctor.org, just to name a few. And last year, we were chosen out of 10,000 applicants for the Glossier Grant Initiative. We were one of 16 companies. We also have been featured in a Visa campaign commercial. And a couple of months ago, we were named the grand prize winner of Aveeno's Skin Scalp Health Accelerator. So I hope that you can feel my enthusiasm because the future is so very bright for Alodia. We're launching on Amazon this month. Our clinical testing and patent filing will be done by summer, and we're launching in a big box retailer early next year. So we're seeking a $200,000 investment for our clinical study and patent filings, as well as additional R&D and marketing. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'll take any questions.
Congratulations on all of your success so far. It looks great.
Thank you.
I wanted to know a little bit more about, I guess, the clinical trial. You know, what are you guys going to be running? And then also, just if you can expound on the patent. It sounds like there's something proprietary that you guys are utilizing. So I'd love to know a little bit more about that technology.
Yes. So what we have realized is that within the textured hair care demographic, there's something called a microbiota imbalance. And I'm not going to go too far into the science of it, but it's basically an imbalance of microbes in the scalp. And this is what's aiding to the being plagued with chronic scalp conditions and just the wide swath of the demographic having these types of dermatitis, alopecias, things of that nature. So our products will speak to that. It will help to balance out that microbiota and also just help to relieve those chronic scalp conditions. Just on the surface, that's what the science of our products will do. We've released about 3 of those products currently in our line, and we've gotten an overwhelmingly positive response. So we understand that this, as scientists, we understand that this is anecdotal, but it tells us that we're in the right direction. What we want to do now is actually show scientifically within an actual clinical study, looking at men and women, a number of them, about 30 men, 30 women, and we're looking at various variables to test to see if our this scalp system that we are designing actually will relieve these chronic scalp conditions. From that study, it'll be an 8-week study. We'll then publish the results, and then we will be patenting that actual system. So that's basically what the clinical study will be about, without giving away too much information.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
So congratulations. A lot of wonderful work has been done around in the brand. Scalp, as you know, is one of the leading issues and one of the growing issues as the industry advances. And we see a lot of great work being done. So kudos to you for that. My question is surrounding, I know a lot of your marketing and a lot of your products are definitely rooted in education, making sure that the consumer understands why and prescribing her really the products in her line. And I know your push is also big box retailers. So my question is, moving from a D2C into a on-shelf product distribution strategy, how do you plan on continuing to diffuse that education and ensure that your consumer has a good understanding of why your products work for her?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what we did last year, which was really interesting, I usually, as a trichologist, I'll do in-person hair and scalp consultations. But of course, when COVID hit and social distancing, we kind of moved that online. And I was blown away by the fact that I'll release just my scheduling and we'll be booked within 24 hours. So it just showed the need for these kind of virtual hair and scalp consults. So we're actually expanding that out to include even more trichologists that will be part of our network that we have. And we'll be actually having these virtual scalp consults when people can just kind of schedule an appointment and learn more about their hair and scalp and the reason why scalp health is so important to your hair health, as well as which products work for them. And this has been an amazing way for us to kind of educate and empower our customer base so that when they're going into the store, they're turning around that ingredient panel and understanding the ingredients that are in them and understanding how each and every product works for them. So this is just one way that we're helping to educate our customers. And we also have been in talks to kind of take a portion of that idea of that kind of virtual scalp consult and maybe even try it out in a retailer experience. So yeah, that's a new and innovative approach that we are taking, and it has been very successful for us.
I would just like to share a lot of kudos. I think this is 100% necessary, and you are ahead of the market. I think
thank you.
Folks are thinking about things like this right now, but you are definitely ahead of the time. So I commend you on that. My question for you is, have you thought about like dispenser types to, in terms of application to the scalp, especially if it's medicated, you know, can you put it all over your hair, or is it just supposed to be direct to the scalp itself?
I love that question. I really do. And it's funny because I just did a kind of video article for Cosmetics Design talking about that and how important the nozzle is for application. So we have a subset of our products are geared towards like scalp conditions. We have also other products that are more so moisturizing and styling of the hair because it all works together. So the ones that are scalp related, like for alopecias and dermatitis, they have like a nozzle tip so that you're applying it to the scalp, concentrating it on the scalp. However, because our products are made with natural and organic ingredients, if it gets on your hair strands, it's also working to moisturize and strengthen those hair strands. But we do have different applicator tips for the different types of products that we have in our line.
Thank you. And then I have a quick follow-up question. So in terms of how are you educating your consumer on how often they should use it? Is this a product that you should use like every time you have a wash day routine, or is it something that only as I identify the issue and I cure it, I no longer need to use it after that point?
I'm glad you brought that up. So we have, we kind of bundle our products. If you see on our website, we bundle them, and the bundles come with a step-by-step guide, like an actual physical guide that people can look at, and it'll tell them exactly how to use the products. And this is another way that we're educating our consumer base. Once they order that product, they get this step-by-step guide, and you know, those have worked for us in educating and empowering our consumer base.
Thank you.
To vote, visit Razorfy.co and select today's event. Enter your donation for the pitches you loved and click the donate button to proceed to checkout. Review and confirm your donation once more by tapping donate. And finally, key in your payment info to cast your vote. Voting will be open for 7 days. And remember, there is a $5 minimum for your vote to count. Your donation keeps Black and brown women in business. You are changing the world with Black Girl Ventures.